How evil is Boo from Dragon Ball? Well, let's find out. But before we can answer that, we also have to answer another question. Which version of Boo are we talking about? Because there's Fat Boo, Evil Boo, Super Boo, all Super Boo's variations, and Kid Boo. And there's also Good Boo, but I feel like he doesn't really belong on the How Evil Is playlist, so yeah. Anyway, today's video, we're looking at Fat Boo, and we're going to answer the question, how evil is Fat Boo? And as always, before we actually start going through their devious acts, we're going to do a little bit of character backstory on Fat Boo. Most important to note is that Fat Boo is kind of under Babidi's control, so to speak, for the first part of his introduction. It's not really under his control, but he's just kind of like a child looking for an adult sort of situation. Doesn't take away from the fact that he does some pretty weird stuff. Namely, first, the one that I want to point out, he tries to kiss a woman, and when she doesn't want to kiss him because he's a giant fat pink bubblegum monster, he looks in a magazine and changes his face to make him look like a supermodel. She still doesn't want to kiss him because he's still some fucking fat bubblegum alien. So what does he do? I mean, obviously what anyone would do if a woman didn't want to fucking kiss you. Turn her into candy and eat her. Yeah, it's pretty messed up. I mean, look, you can defend Boo all you want, saying he's just kind of he's kind of a child. He doesn't know right from wrong, really. He's literally just a stupid idiot. But this one's pretty wild. No amount of he's just a kid can defend Boo from what he did. He does worse things. He does worse things. I mean, his fight with Deborah, definitely not worse than that, but he does also turn Deborah into candy and eat Deborah, which is also horrifying. I mean, I would say poor Deborah, but fuck Deborah, nobody likes Deborah. Anyway, he also turns the entire population of a city into candy and eats all of them. So that's population devastation. That's pretty bad. He kills a lot of people and eats them. I mean, it'd be worse if he was straight up eating them while they were people, but he at least turns them into candy first, I guess. But yeah, the main defense that I have for Boo is that he's kind of just a bit of an idiot. He doesn't actually understand the moral implications of anything that he does. And you can kind of gather that from not only his appearance, but his speech and his demeanor. So I also, for the first time in these How Evil videos, we're going to bring up some things that the character does that are actually inherently good, and that, that argue for them being not a decent person, but a less bad antagonist. And the first point on that list is Boo's encounter with a blind child. He walks up to this kid, he's like, be intimidated by my humongous pink body, and the kid is just he's not fazed because he literally can't see him. So Boo's like, oh, that's pretty weird, you can't see things. And then out of the kindness of his bubblegum heart, he heals the child's blindness, which is actually that's a kind thing to do. That shows that Boo has the capability to be kind, and perhaps it's just Babidi was poorly influencing him, when things actually run through his mushy little rubber brain up there, he can actually come to the conclusion that being good is the right thing, So maybe he just needed to be taught morality, or learn it for himself. Maybe he hadn't learned it for himself, before, all he knew was candy tastes good, let me turn people into candy, I'ma eat people. But he didn't know that was wrong. He has to figure that out for himself. You gotta give the guy a chance, he's a big bubblegum alien, he's gotta learn right from wrong, he's gotta live his world experience, he's made mistakes in the past, can you really hold him for that? Yeah, probably. I mean, that's pretty fucking bad. But he does heal a blind kid, so is he that evil? I mean, let's look at what else he does. I mean, he also chills out with a dog, becomes friends with Hercule and a dog, and he gets really, really mad when the dog gets shot, and then he heals the dog. That's pretty cool. That's pretty solid from Boo. Does it excuse the other stuff he's done? Absolutely not. but it does show that he wasn't doing the other stuff with malicious intent. Like, he wasn't turning people into candy and eating them because he enjoyed making people suffer. He was kind of getting told to, and he also thought, this tastes pretty nice. So, like, from a like a psychological standpoint, he's nowhere near as evil as Broly and Frieza. He's definitely not as evil as Cell either. So, where do we put Boo on the tier list? That's a good question. I think he goes somewhere around there, and I think that's fair. You know, he's not he hasn't blown up planets because he's fucking, like, he enjoys it. You know, he's just like he's just a little bit stupid, and he has to learn for himself, like, how morality works, what's good, what's bad, eating people bad, healing blind children good. And I think at the end of all like his little adventures, before everything, you know, kicks off in the Boo arc even more, he does understand that. But, like, before that, pretty bad guy. He was eating people, turning people to candy. You know, he fights everyone, fights Vegeta. But at the end of the day, he is not an evil, malicious murderer who kills children. And, like, okay, he ate a city of people, but it wasn't the same as when Frieza did it. You know, I'm sure you guys know where I'm coming from with this. Like, you get my point. You understand why I'm not saying Boo is as evil as the rest of them. And I think I'm right in saying that. I mean, the rest of Boo's forms, I mean, that's literally being saved for a different video because they are so different from Fat Boo. A lot more evil than Fat Boo. And, you know, we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. We'll talk about those guys at a later date. But, as of right now, that's probably it for this video. I want to say thank you. I know this one has taken a while to come out. I had requests in the comments, so I knew how to get this made. But yeah, that's probably about it for this video. Next week, it could be How Evil is Super Boo. I'm not sure, so, like, don't get your hopes up, but, like, it's gonna come pretty soon. If not, you know, I'll think of another video to make. And also, I just want to say, I appreciate all of you that watched the Golden Frieza summoning video. I wanted to try something new, you know, playing Legends on this channel. It's a little bit different from the normal, like, essay format videos. So, yeah, I want to thank anyone that watched that. And, yeah, that's about it from me. See ya!